Welcome to Senior Talks, an exciting new educational program for those ages 45 and older in Harris County, Texas, that features presentations on opioid use, medication management, recovery, and health. Senior Talks is sponsored by the Harris County Area Agency on Aging and Elderly Program through the Council on Recovery. Today, we're excited to have Leah Bell, who will be talking, Leah Bell, older adult peer recovery specialist, who will be talking about recovery, part 2. Take it away, Leah.
Thank you. Hello, and welcome back to Senior Talks. In part 1 of What is Recovery, we revisited what addiction is by definition. We reviewed the why and the how of addiction, and we learned about the 6 stages of change, concluding that the stages of change is the roadmap in and out of recovery. Today, we will continue on with part 2 of What is Recovery. It is my hopes that from today's discussion, you will recall the 6 stages of change, gain insight on the process of recovery through exploring the 4 stages of recovery, and ultimately gain hope for yourself or loved one who may be struggling with an addiction. For hope is the driving force behind recovery. So let's briefly recap the 6 stages of change, and hopefully we can go through these really quickly. Stage 1 is the pre-contemplation stage. A person in this stage typically does not consider their behavior to be a problem. Stage 2 is the contemplation stage. They may be open to learning about different strategies for controlling or quitting the addictive behavior without committing to a specific approach or even promising to make a change. Stage 3 is the preparation stage, which the person is making preparations to as far as planning and preparing to carrying out the changes they've learned about in the contemplation stage. And stage 4 is the action stage. This stage is the focus for most people attempting to overcome addiction. This stage is where real change happens, or should I say, start to happen. Stage 5, maintenance stage. The maintenance stage is concerned with continuing to achieve the progress that began in the action stage for people with addiction. This means upholding the intentions made towards the preparation stage and the behavior introduced in the action stage. And stage 6 is the relapse stage. Not everyone who goes through the stages of change will experience a relapse stage, but it does happen. And not every stages of change will present a stage 6. Sometimes it's just simply stage 5, 1 through 5. But here it is represented for the individual who may experience relapse before they even achieve the maintenance stage. Okay, so now, what is recovery? Now we're getting to the good part. So what is recovery? Well, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Authority, which is SAMHSA, who is a branch of the United States Department of Health, Human Health. Their mission is to reduce the impact of substance abuse and health on American communities. Their definition of recovery is a process of change, there we go, a process of change through which an individual seeks to improve their health and wellness, live self-directed lives, and strives to reach their full potential. Now that you have journeyed through the stages of change and have resolved to live a life without alcohol and/or drugs, support is still needed. Now we will take a journey through the stages of recovery as we are now in the recovery process. But first, I would like to share an excerpt of the film Anonymous People, which is a documentary on recovery and the recovery movement. Wow, what did you think about that? Did you see the numbers? 23 million people are living in long-term recovery. I have goosebumps. I literally have goosebumps. It's so exciting. This is proof that recovery is possible and a new life is waiting on you while you trudge the road to happy destiny. Now let's look at what that road might look like as we explore the stages of recovery. So now the first stage of recovery is the initiation stage. It's often the first year of recovery. And in the initiation stage of recovery, the individual learns about the disease of addiction, how it has disrupted their lives, how they have become unmanageable in that disease, and how to stay clean no matter what. They relearn how to socialize in a group setting, breaking the pattern of isolation. They learn to ask for help while holding themselves accountable and developing a sense of self-responsibility. They learn to manage their anxiety by staying away from risky places, situations, and people. Physical detox takes place at this stage. Stage 2 of recovery is the stabilization stage. This often happens in the second year of recovery. The individual is able to identify old behaviors and patterns that are no longer good. It doesn't feel good to them anymore to behave or act out in these manners. A change of verbal attitude, feelings, and behaviors can be noticed. There is an increase in physical health and their ability to tolerate feelings and cope with their emotions. There is an increased commitment to recovery in this stage. An emotional detox takes place here at this stage. Stage 3 of recovery is the maintenance stage. Here we go again, the maintenance stage, which often happens 3 to 5 years of recovery. The outer world of the person is beginning to reflect the inner world, their inner world, as they learn how to avoid the creation of drama in their lives. So in other words, you can see how they feel on the inside based on what's going on the outside, because it corresponds with each other. Connections are made at a wider circle of people, both in and out of recovery. So they're beginning to trust themselves and others. They may have a need to go back and redo some earlier work in recovery that they felt they may have skimmed over or dealt with at a minimum of concern. It is in this stage that the individual have the propensity or the inclination to be honest with themselves and others. Stage 4 of recovery is the enhanced quality of life stage, which often is between 6 and 10 years of recovery. In this stage of recovery, relationships are based on love rather than need now. The person automatically uses the tools of recovery to avoid being stuck in their feelings, their thoughts, their emotions, or situations that once would have resulted in using alcohol or drugs. They now have the ability to act on knowledge and insight. Oh my gosh, get chills again, you guys. And follow through with the best course of action to take in situations. They have self-forgiveness for themselves, and they also give themselves permission to have fun and enjoy life. As stated above, recovery is highly personalized. Not everyone recovers at the same rate or style. And for that reason, there are many pathways to recovery. Just to name a few, there's the 12-step program, such as AA and NA. And this is where participants work through the 12 steps in order to identify and address issues that contribute to their addiction. They set their foundations on the principle of honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. There are also more specific spin-offs from Narcotics Anonymous, such as Heroin Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, Meth Anonymous, and Marijuana Anonymous. Another pathway may be church. Individuals may use spirituality or their religion to sustain their addictive behaviors. The SMART Recovery is a cognitive behavioral therapy-based program, which teaches coping skills, to help participants address 4 main points they may feel are essential to maintaining sobriety. SMART, the acronym for SMART. I'm gonna give you 2 acronyms of SMART. So this is the first acronym of SMART. This is self-management and recovery training. And so then there is the pathway of Celebrate Recovery. It is similar to this 12-step group. It includes principles of Christianity and ties the Bible verses to the 12-step literature. Also, for mental health, due to addiction being, there could be causes for addiction, such as mental health, or mental health could have been due to addiction. So there's a pathway for such as that, people in that category. Recovery groups. This group is for individuals who may struggle with addiction and some form of mental illness. Their recovery model is holistic, person-centered approach and mental health. Their premise is that it is possible to recover from mental health condition. Whatever your pathway is, keep in mind these 5 key steps to recovery from addiction. 1, remind yourself of the reason why you want to change. 2, think about the past attempts at recovery, if any. Think about the past attempts of recovery, if any. What worked? What didn't work? 3, set specific measurable goals. Did I say 6? 3, set specific measurable goals. 4, remove reminders of addiction from your home, workplace, and other places you may frequent. 5, tell friends and family that you're committing to recovery and ask for their support. Every goal you set for yourself should be made with this SMART acronym. S, specific. Name exactly what your goal is. M, measurable. Can you make the goals something that you can measure, you can see and measure? A, achievable. Make your goals reasonable and attainable. are realistic, make them beneficial and relevant. NT time, have a start and finish date. If you or someone you know is struggling with the disease of addiction, please use this phone number that is provided on the screen.
This concludes the Senior Talks series. Special thanks to the Harris County Area Agency on Aging and the Council on Recovery's Elderly Program, Leah Bell and Rosanna Ishii for their partnership and collaboration to ensure that taboo topics on opioid use, health, medication reconciliation, addiction, and recovery. Should you have any future concerns about any topic presented, please feel free to contact the Elderly Program at 281-200-9250.